My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And it's my birthday.
Woo!
Actually, well, okay. The day this is coming out is not my birthday. My birthday is on the 27th, so it's on Friday. But, like, it's close enough.
Yeah.
It's close enough.
It's around.
And every year, like, on our birthdays, we get to pick an episode. Funnily enough, even though Jessie's birthday is in March, her episode is coming up in a few weeks because there was a little bit of a work-related scheduling situation all through March and April and May. That's now, we're just a little more chill.
Getting there.
And so last year for my birthday, I started a thing that I think I'm just going to keep doing because I find it fun. It's fun for me because I don't have to do anything, but also I like to think it's fun for the ladies as well.
It is.
Yeah.
And that is BL Santa. It's Christmas in June, my friends. Natalia is here with my little Santa ways to deliver to the people a BL that I have picked, a BL, a boys love drama, catered to their tastes or their vibes. Or something that I'm just like, I think they'd get something out of this. And that's what we did. So each of them, I picked a drama. So what we're going to do is very simple. They're going to tell you about the drama that I picked for them. And then they're going to try to figure out why I picked it for them. Usually they're pretty easy to figure out.
Yeah.
And I think we're just going to go in regular old age order.
Okay.
And which means, Amanda, you're going to take us out first. This was a very fun one because I know that the rest of us have already seen it and love it. And then I was very shocked, but also delighted to know that she hadn't watched it yet. So it was easy.
Delighted to force her to watch it.
Yeah, to be like, you have to get with the rest of us. Like, come on up. And so, Amanda, tell us about the drama that you watched.
So I was gifted Our Dating Sim, which is a short Korean BL, 8 short episodes, or you can watch it as a 2-hour movie, which is how I watched it, because if you're going to sit down and watch it all at once, why not?
Yeah.
Korean, it's on Viki. It's lovely. It's the story is about 2 guys who were friends in high school, and on graduation, one of them confesses to the other, tries to kiss the other one backs away. The kisser is embarrassed and runs away, and also, like, really runs away because his family has gone bankrupt. They have to go move in with his aunt in the city, and they leave town and never see each other again. And, like, they do make a good point of, like, there's a reason why they don't connect with each other over, like, they could text each other, they could, but they're both kind of embarrassed by how it all went down, so neither one really wants to contact the other, and it's kind of a whole thing. So the kisser becomes a webtoon illustrator, and the kissee starts working on video games. He works for a video game company. And our situation starts with the illustrator getting asked, hey, we saw your webtoons and we think your style matches this Otome game that we're going to start. Do you want to come work for us and do the character design? And he gets there and thinks, oh, that guy in the elevator looks kind of like that guy I had a crush on in high school. And then he meets him in the office and he goes, well, dang, it is that boy that I had a crush on in high school.
Oh, no.
And hijinks ensue. So it's adorable. It's very, very sweet. It was kind of funny because I watched it like a month ago or something when Natalia first offered it to me. And last week I was like, I know I watched it, and I know the vibes were good. Cannot remember a single thing about it. Like, if you ask, so today I was like, obviously I have to rewatch it, so
We're going to talk about it.
I started rewatching it, and still nothing. And then, like, sort of like the opening credits, they're both getting ready to go to work and stuff. And you see, like, the camera on the desk, and I'm like, the camera. Mm-hmm. There's something about that camera. And then I don't know what it was, but, like, the actor playing the illustrator walked in the front doors of the lobby of the office, and I went, oh yeah, and it all came back. It all came back in a flood. I don't know why that was what triggered it, but it was so weird, because until that moment, other than knowing the camera was something, nothing. Like, the story was completely gone. So the vibes on this, absolutely immaculate, because I totally remembered that. Like, the vibes are great. Everything's good.
Good.
I just, details gone. Now, I actually really appreciated rewatching it as well, because there's a lot of stuff in the initial encounters when he's interviewing that, like, you're like, oh, okay, like, there's something in this conversation that is making the one who's interviewing is saying things that are making the interviewee uncomfortable, but there's, like, another boss in the room, and so it's all sort of code, and you're like, but you don't really know why it's making him uncomfortable exactly. And then you get the flashback of high school and this kissing incident. And so rewatching it, already knowing those things, it was like, oh, when he's saying, like, are you going to just take off? Are you just going to say you'll do things and then leave? Like,
a little bitter, my guy.
He's talking about a specific event in their shared history. So it's very, very cute. It's very sweet and heartfelt. Like, it's sad. Like, it's not sad, but, like, it has moments in it where, for both of them, where they wanted to reach out to this person that had been their best friend, and one of them goes through, like, family loss, and is like, wants to text and be like, please come to this funeral because I need somebody to support me. But, like, it's been years and you just can't. So, like, there's 7-year gap between the, high school graduation kiss event and the day that they first see each other again at this job. One of the things I really liked about it was the pacing for it. The fact that it's not a full length from it, you could see all the spots where it could have gone off the rails if they were, like, longer episodes and stuff, where you're like, oh, they would have dragged out this, like, blind date with a girl situation and made it more annoying than it needed to be, and they would have, this and this, it could have got annoying, but instead it was just cute. It just went, they gave you the story, and it was very clear very quickly that they were both still in a place where they were very attracted to each other. You were aware almost immediately that this guy who works at the gaming company clearly has been thinking about this other guy as well. They do a really nice transition where they're talking about what happened over those 7 years, and it starts with the illustrator, and he's talking about everything he went through in those 7 years of, like, his unrequited love and his missing this guy. And at some point you realize that the narration has switched to the other guy's POV, and and now they're telling about how he also was missing his friend and wishing that this person was still in his life and stuff. So it's very, like, I don't know, it's just nice. There's not a lot of miscommunication or, like, some of that stuff that just annoys you when you're watching. It's just about two people finding each other again, and it's a little awkward because neither one of them knows exactly where the other one's at, but they kind of get there, and it's cute. and enjoyable.
It's such a good vibe.
Yeah,
It really is.
Vibe of a show. Like if you have a show that it's like Jessie, Sky, and I are all like,
Yeah.
hell yeah,
Yeah.
hell
Yeah,
yeah,
right?
good vibe. And then Amanda is also like, good vibe.
Yeah.
And you know what? I feel like this could be for anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so short.
And it's short. It's very watchable.
It's a really good example of just the really short, sweet KBL
Mhm.
type.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like
Exactly.
The Office is very cute. Like the characters like they work with are really like very cute and very
Charming.
nice.
It's a charming little situation.
Yeah.
The game looks like it would be a fun little Otome, good
Yeah.
time. Like it's just they smooch on each other. It's very nice. It's got everything you're looking for from a little short BL.
If you like semantic error, you're definitely going to like this because I've
Yeah,
not
for
found
sure.
someone who's like semantic error that doesn't end up really
Like
liking this show.
Yeah. Like, and I wouldn't say that like the vibe is the same at all, but they're just both in that sense of they're not being real high stakes or anything like, you know, sometimes rom-coms fall into that trap where we have to make it more than what it is.
Yeah.
And we have to, so we're going to have, you know, somebody's dying or there's this or whatever. And it's like, no, they were like, we're not doing any of those things. We're just telling you this story and it's cute.
It's just like the mishaps of like dating first, you know, like your first dates and like just like being young and falling in love and second guessing yourself. Like,
I like
very sweet.
It's cute that they have sort of he takes some of his experience with his unrequited love and his years of yearning for somebody and he puts that into the game for them, which helps them to make the game a better game, but then it also opens up opportunities for the other guy to be like, you know, like
my time has come.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I see, you know.
Over the years, I've learned about myself and become cool with what went down back in high school. So, I'm here to reciprocate, my friend. Worry not.
Yeah.
I think it's just a good show that everyone would like.
Yeah, and
unless
I mean,
you're, as I said, unless you're a homophobe, and if you're a homophobe,
well,
I don't know why you're here. Why are you listening to this episode?
If you want a deep tragic time, it will not be that.
We'll not give this to you. This will be a nice chill afternoon.
I think this is also a very good, like, if you've never watched a BL, like, to kind of start off in it. Yeah.
It gives you the office romance. It gives you the office romance.
Yeah.
Which is always a very easy, accessible, simple to follow. It's not like you're getting, you know, like rich family stuff. You know, you're not having to figure out all this other stuff. It's just
there's absolutely no family dynamics in this whatsoever. They said we're not getting into that.
His sister shows up a couple of times, but mostly just to like tell him to get off his butt and help some years at the restaurant. You know, like it's very low key. I did like one of the things I do really like about it, which I think more and more BLs are moving in this direction now. It's not as common to see the other way as, but for a lot of years, what you would see often in BLs, and you still do get it, is where it's really like a male character and a female character who's being played by a man kind of thing. Like, not exactly, but it's always like the manly man and the twink, or the man, you know, like it's always you kind of get that vibe of like, we could replace one of these characters with a woman and it would be the same story. And it doesn't really come across that way. They're both men, and they're both at different times providing that comfort role, at different times providing the, you know, the part of the person who is aggressive in the relationship. Like they both do both. They both tease. They both flirt. They're both men. You're watching two men fall in love and, well, again, or find love again, right? It doesn't have that trope that, again, like I said, I think we're moving away from that in more modern BL. Not that there's Again,
we love twinks.
There's anything wrong with it.
We're pro-twink in this household.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the height difference, but it's nice when not everything is that, because not everything is that, right? Like that's not how not every hetero relationship is a rich, tall man and a short, poor girl. Like, so.
Exactly.
Like, it's nice to see a little.
That's right, variety. We support you. We support you out here. Yeah. I think it's pretty evident why I picked this one for.
I mean, I've had a lot less viewing time. I've had more this month, but I've had a lot less viewing time. So short one was excellent, especially because we were also watching something much longer.
Something very long.
Something else.
For something else that we'll tell you about at some point. Don't worry about it.
And so, I mean, it was just good vibes. Like, it was just a nice, chill watch. And so,
next up,
changing gears.
We're going on a reel now for something completely different.
Completely different.
And I also just noticed that as we go on, it goes shortest to longest in the order that we're doing.
So
this
funny.
Was not intentional. But next up, Jessie. I sent her. Yeah. I sent her quite a show.
Yeah, she did. Quite a show.
Quite a show. Did I? Listen, I was stuck between two, but I thought this one would be easier to talk about because the other one had too many twists and turns, which is shocking because of how many twists and turns.
This one's actually,
this one also has,
especially when you compare the two the synopsis. One doesn't look like it's going to be twisty and turny, and the other one definitely you're like,
oh, it does. It does. Yeah. It does. But this one, Jessie, tell us what you watched.
So, I was given the 2024 Thai drama Spare Me Your Mercy. I am going to do kind of a little bit of a trigger warning for this show. However, I do think, especially within the first episode, it's kind of a spoiler. So if you don't care about trigger warnings and you want to keep potentially a spoiler out, I guess skip a few seconds. But this show heavily deals with euthanasia, and also every character that's a patient has cancer. So they're actively in their last end of stages of death and cancer specifically. So those are the two big running things. If you don't like those two things, this will not be your show. You would need to definitely. It's not something you can handle. So this show is, of course, a crime thriller because, of course, Natalia was going to.
Listen, I know my girls. I know my girls. Yeah. You know.
Essentially, the story is about a guy who has whose mother was dying, and she dies before he gets back to his hometown, and because of that, and then finding out other mysterious deaths that are happening to a certain set of people in the town, he comes back as a police officer to try to figure what's going on, and as if there's a murderer in town taking out all these essentially old folks around this small community, and through the investigations he ends up in a relationship with a doctor who's also the head suspect of this whole thing. And the story is about trying to figure out who it is. They take you on a wild journey. It's very much they heighten things a lot, so every character does really weird I'm a menacing, could be the villain quirks just randomly, just so you think that they could be it. It's not.
Just be maybe.
Okay, oh sure. And this one episode, now she's doing that. Okay, whatever. So it does keep you guessing, trying to figure out, especially I think the first episode, like when you're trying to figure out what's going on with everything, and kind of early on, one of the storylines is kind of revealed, and then but you're also still don't know if it still ties back to the main central murder. So there is a little bit of a mystery vibe with that, and you're always thinking that like somehow that's not thunder, that's a motorcycle behind me. So you're always thinking that like everyone could be a murder, and like some things could be murder, some things could not. You don't know. It's a wild game where
everyone seems so guilty for like 2/3 of this show. Like,
but also
the cop is the only one who probably didn't murder anyone. Probably.
Like you don't see it, and then like they'll do some like you know, like kind of almost comically like switch into like maybe I'm a murderer thing, and then it just like falls away because they're not the murderer at all. It's just like I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing here. I mean, I think it does a pretty good job with like kind of keeping you guessing on what's going on. Like it does try to, like, especially towards the end of it, it tries to like, with the main central like thing that's going on, it does kind of brings up moral issues surrounding it. So it does kind of try to focus itself on that as well. But like all in all, it was pretty good drama. I will say that the relationship aspect of the show is like secondary to everything, even though it kind of seems like they should have made it a little bit more to the forefront of the show, which is like, and crazy for me to say.
They had possible murderers to show off.
Yes. But like I kind of, how should I say this? I'm trying to like say it in a way that I don't spoil things. Oh, Max, I know.
Sometimes the romance was a bit rushed, where you're like, why would they be okay?
What happens in the end and the moral consequences and stuff that he's grappling with, there were other places where he should have been that morally like you know, grief about like what is going on, but it's not. Oh, like, okay, I could essentially I can tell you that like, okay, so like the doctor is the main suspect because of course he's one of the main characters, and so him and the cop get into a relationship very early on. And it's really not, like, ever, like, a problem for the cop. Like, it's just not. Like, he's just like, I had the interview earlier today, and then I'm just going to show up at your house. And they, like, I will say that sometimes they try to, like, make it look like it's, like, him trying to find information. But, like, it just, that I think, like, is really what, like, threw me off about the relationship.
I will say, the show does have one scene that I still remember because I was just like, finally a crime show does this. And one of the characters is breaking into someone's house. And as they're about to break in, instead of just going in all willy-nilly, getting their fingerprints on everything, they stop and put on a pair of nitrile gloves before picking the lock. And I was like, yes! Yes, that is how you break into someone's house. But then,
but also the show
it goes wrong. But like,
well, it has like a cop that like literally brings out, like, they're tailing someone, and he brings out his like bag of chips that he's like going to town on, and then throws it on the ground.
I will say though, like, because I know that something that bothers Jessie is when cops that are not supposed to be stupid act stupid.
Yeah,
but I do love
the
that
show doesn't care about it.
This show's just like, no, these cops are fucking stupid.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, like,
they don't give a shit about their job.
They don't care about anything. They're just like, they just want everything.
Paycheck. They just want an easy day. Like,
I will say that it's really great. Like, all the nurses are the ones who, for their entire character arcs, always, every single nurse in that building, it looks like a murderer. Just like
no, this was like the most sinister. Like they would always they would go from like these beautifully lit vistas of like you meet these people that are like these beautiful sad end of life stories, and then it would cut to the hospital with this like harsh blue lighting with these nurses like glaring and like strutting down, and you're like, oh damn girl, yes.
Like a nurse, especially I guess in Thailand, or maybe just in like that kind of area, rural areas, is like that hat, the like I don't know what it's called, like, but it looks older too, so it's like has this just like everything they do is just like menacing,
severe and menacing.
But like they're not mean to their like people.
No, they're very like they're very nice. It's just to throw you off, okay?
Yeah, like they really like to throw you off.
Everyone.
They do have one of my favorite characters is the medical examiner. She's great, although they kind of like leave her out. I was like, man, this character's great, and then I didn't see her for like a full episode, and then I was like, no.
And then she comes back.
She comes back. She's in the title credits, like the opening credits.
She's central to the plot.
Central. There are things that happen with her too, but like, yeah, it's a pretty good show. Like, I watched it all. So
the euthanasia thing isn't like a surprise because it's literally based on a novel called Euthanasia.
Yes, but it is a surprise first episode.
Yes.
You don't know it's about euthanasia. Like, yeah. So that's like the thing. But it's like 8 episodes, 45-ish minutes long. It's a pretty decent show. I watched it on IGE. I don't know if it's on anything else.
Yeah, I just thought she might find it fun. That's all. I was just like,
I mean, like, it's a crime show. The romance isn't like super prevalent in it, so it is a Jessie show on paper, totally.
And there wasn't any like pratfall-y comedic stuff.
No,
like, it was a very serious show. Like. But it's still fun. It's in the Manner of Death universe.
Mm-hmm.
Good crime gays. We love some crime gays.
Crime gays.
It was slim pickings.
It's not the
hardest one. That's the hardest one, and it's not your fault.
Sorry.
It's not your fault.
No, they need to make more.
It's just the Venn diagram is a little different when you're doing
it's like a little slimmer of an
feels really like rom-coms. That's genre, like where they
we love a good rom-com.
Yeah, and like some rom-coms are really. I mean, like Our Dating Sim. I mean, it's not like super comedy, but it's still like a rom-com.
Yeah. But it's
But yeah,
I thought she'd still get something out of it. And
I think this was
I could not finish this.
This was a great. No, definitely. I like. Plowed through it. It wasn't like hard to get through at all. I will say that I did like watch the first episode of the other one, which I can't remember the
Secret Relationships.
Name. Yeah.
By the way, like that one.
That one takes a little while to take off. This doesn't seem at all.
No, like it takes a little while. That one, Jesse.
I got to the crosswalk episode, like part of it. I was like,
it takes a little while it takes a wild turn like 90 times. So. There's a reason why. Listen, I wasn't just like I'm gonna make
half-hour episodes too. Like they're much smaller.
For anyone watching this, like the first episode of Secret Relationships makes it seem like it's going to be an office rom-com.
Yeah, but like very
and then it takes
calm.
an absolutely insane like turn, and it just continues to make more insane and insane turns.
Yeah,
like that's why I was worried. I'm like, but it really takes to like episode 3 of like 6.
I mean, if you asked me to do it, I would do it too. Like I would be like, fine.
Listen, I'm just saying it takes wild turns.
Yeah.
And for another wild turn, we come to the final one, which is also the longest one. Not by like that much more. Like it's not like I didn't give poor Sky like a 50 episode drama, but I was also having trouble thinking of one for Sky, and Sky actually suggested this one herself because I had previously mentioned that I thought she would find it fun, and I was like, you know what, you right, girl.
Well, in fairness, like my life's been really crazy the past couple months, and so we kind of waited a while to like assign which one I should do. Like, and so we're trying to do low hanging fruit, super easy, like super easy.
And I wanted like a super chill, fun, cute watch for Sky. So
nice.
Sky, take it away with the least surprising choice from Natalia of all time.
So, like, if I had to guess, I would have actually guessed like it would have been like Cutie Pie or something, but it's not that.
One day,
it'll be a different thing someday.
But one day it will be like literally, she'll just give it to all of us, and
it'll be like a secret.
And then
it'll be like a real Cutie Pie. Like what'll happen is we'll be doing like a genre, like one of those where we like Secret Santa ones, but I will have a deal with the person running it. That it's all just Cutie Pie. So you all
the moment
me.
any of us get Cutie Pie, we'll know what's going on.
We'll know what's going on.
You'll know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so but the one that she did pick was Monster Next Door because she talked about that a lot this past year or this year.
Literally 2 weeks ago.
It aired
literally 2 weeks ago. But I was like, it was my favorite BL last year.
Yeah, like you've talked about it again. Because I knew it was very introvert, extrovert. I was like, that sounds easy. I could watch that really fast. So sure enough, it very much is. If you want it boiled down in one sentence, it is introvert, extrovert, college dorm neighbors fall in love and be cute. Like that is the extent of the stakes that you're dealing with. Honestly.
Stakes so low. Just
so low. I will say, like, Natalia had said about the introvert character, like, possibly on the spectrum. I'm not sure that I really got that from his character quite as much as, like, say, the character from Semantic Error. Like, the character from Semantic Error, to me, like, heavily reads on into that.
Mm-hmm.
This introvert character, I just think he's had some traumas. I just think he just prefers quiet. Like, maybe. I mean, to me, it just didn't really clock like that. Totally cool.
To me, it really did. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, sorry. He really. So, the main things that he does is he likes listening to music with his headphones on, which that is kind of the flag about the spectrum thing. And he likes his little tiny turtle, and he talks to his turtle all the time, and putting jigsaw puzzles together and reading. Like, that is the extent of. And he has one friend. One close friend, but one friend that he hangs out with, and that's it. And he's a first year in college, and then he suddenly gets a next door neighbor who's he's a delight, really. He's just a super smiley, extroverted drummer who also plays basketball and just anything else. He does whatever he wants. Like, he's just kind of everywhere. He's just a golden retriever. And they, throughout the show, call him a dog. Like, because when he smiles, he looks like a puppy. Like, he's just all the time looks like his tail's wagging. Like, that is his entire personality, is he looks really friendly. Like, that's... In fact, I was messaging Natalia about it. I was like, this actor... They should someday cast him in like a really like a villain role because he looks so friendly. Like that's his face reads friendly, and so it would be a really good turn.
As soon as he smiles, his eyes disappear. They're just little lines of happiness. He's so cute.
It's just this huge grin, and so he would make a great villain. Anyway, so that was something I thought about his like the actor himself, but essentially. They start kind of dating, before they even... The extrovert has seen the introvert and thought he was cute automatically, and kind of, like, orchestrated the, like, hey, can we date thing? But it's this very slow, let's just see, let's get to know each other type thing, but they pretty much just talk when they're on their balconies of their rooms, and you can't see each other. But the whole time, the extrovert totally knows what the introvert looks like. The introvert has no idea that the extrovert is like a spoke show that literally has a fan club of girls and is a drummer in like this popular band and just all these things. And so eventually when he sees him, he's like, oh no.
I love
Like,
this
you're
show
too
so
handsome.
much.
Like, this is crazy.
Ugh.
But I already like you, so okay. But what I liked about it was it's a very slow progression of the relationship, and it definitely is not. The characters don't even really say they're truly dating until much farther into the show. So for quite a while, it truly is like just getting to know each other for like episodes, like a handful of episodes. The stakes are very, very low, but a lot of it just typically is just college stuff and introvert extrovert stuff, as far as the introvert character has been hurt in the past by his ex's like extroverted friends who were jerks to him and like would make fun of him really bad. And so that's his fear when he meets his new boyfriend's extroverted friends, who kind of do tease, and it's not anything mean spirited, but since you've had this trauma, so like you do kind of see the traumas that this kid has gone through. And then also his ex told him essentially that he needed to change as a person to like become quote unquote normal, like like in society and stuff. And so that kind of becomes a theme of, you know, he doesn't need to change type thing. But also what's nice about it on some level is the two characters kind of learn from each other how to experience life differently, but not like in big, deep, huge ways, just really simple. Like the extrovert kind of realizes like, hey, my friends are really loud. Maybe we should like quiet down. And then he starts realizing he enjoys serene environments or something. Like he enjoys the quieter times with this kid next door. And then the introvert, he kind of figures out that through his boyfriend, oh, it might be fun to try new things. And his boyfriend does not scooch him along the way. He decides on his own, I would like to try something new. I would like to try basketball today with you. And it's not because the boyfriend brought it up at all. So, like, it's very... And he kind of will try something and be like, nah, that's not my thing. And then he kind of eventually figures out, I want to do a presentation about a children's book with my really close friend. And then he obviously has a fear of public speaking, because of course he does. But then he works through it, and it's all really sweet. So, like... As far as it's very low stakes, but you do have growth as far as they do. It seems like they mature a little bit, which is nice for the age group that those characters are at. It seemed to fit the college identity stuff. Like, I thought that was pretty reflective of that. I think what's kind of funny, Natalia and I were laughing about this because I was mentioning about it. The show felt like it needed a villain for a second. Just a second.
Just literally like for 2 minutes.
Yeah. Essentially, there was a girl, you know, a girl was somewhat of a problem and extra pushy towards the introvert, and it didn't go well. And, you know, she popped up a couple times and was a problem. And then later on, they kind of gave her a redemption arc, but like didn't show the arc. They just showed the she's nice now part.
Like,
we're not gonna tell you anything.
Well, like she got told off, you know, like.
Well,
like,
so the introvert eventually, like, directly was like, you know, kind of set her straight a little bit, but you still never really saw like.
She just went to camp and came back. Good person.
Exactly. She worked on herself off screen.
And then she was like the friendliest, kindest person ever. It's like,
okay,
you were like a narcissist with really bad tendencies before, but okay, this is fine.
What I really like about that is usually these female characters they bring in, and it's the trope of woman wants to date gay man for some reason. That is not the case here. She doesn't have any interest in dating either of them. Whenever
they're kind of starting to introduce her, and kind of off the bat, it's like something's wrong. Like, this girl is not going to be a friend. Like, you knew that this was not going to be good. Yeah. And she knew the extrovert first. And, like, they were already quote-unquote friends. Because he's friends with everybody. Because, of course, he is. And then you're like, I really did figure that she was going to be trying to, like, date him or something. Like, that felt, like, for 2 seconds. And then it never, I was like, Well, that's good that we don't have to play that.
Yeah, we don't have to deal with that nonsense.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, oh, they're just gay. Everyone's cool with them just being gay for once. These women know
There's
what
none
a
of
gay
that.
man is. It's okay. It's all good.
So then you also have you have a second couple, like a secondary couple, who is so the extrovert has 3 best friends throughout this whole thing. There's a girl, and then there's 2 dudes, and the 2 dudes are roommates, and have been for it sounds like kind of forever. And they're all in third year too, so like that's kind of the quote unquote age gap between the two, which is like negligent. But anyway, so there's the secondary couple. It's as if they're already married. Like that's really like the first few episodes. It's very like they seem married already. It's not just that they live together,
they
but like
only have one
they
bed.
take care of each other. They only have one bed.
It's like one of them knows that they're married and the other one hasn't figured it out yet. That's like the vibe of them, which is a fun little
That is fun
side plot.
But then when eventually, it has to come to head with the one that knows they're married has to eventually be like, hey, FYI, we're married. Like, just so you're aware that you do have a boyfriend. Because, like, and then, of course, it gets weird because, of course, the one that doesn't know they're married is kind of dramatic. So, like, you have to be dramatic about it for a while. And,
yeah.
And then they kiss, and then it's still dramatics for a while. And the whole time, the calmer one, he's an ambivert. I don't care. He's totally not extrovert or introvert. He's kind of in between of all the friend group. But he's always he's so patient with this guy. Like, he's just like, we're married. Okay, take your time figuring that out, I guess. Like, whatever.
Like, dude,
tries to make him jealous.
That needs to get done. Like,
yeah, like, and then eventually it's like, yes, we will be married. Yes, we're together. It's like, imagine.
That'd be
shocker.
exhausting.
Like, that was, we knew that was going to happen.
I do love the female friend in that group because she serves no purpose other than vibes. She's just there to be like, I know what you've been up to, and I approve. It's like, yeah, okay, perfect.
Well, it was kind of nice that they didn't make her into, because sometimes when there's like a female in a friend group like that, oh, she has to be the relationship advice because she's the girl, or the girl roles that sometimes get. Because she's a girl, she has to help with fashion, just kind of like the gay best friend. But in this instance, it's the girl best friend and kind of that role of prop for those types of things. She was just there for fun, and she was there all the time. Like, she's just there.
Yep, her and the dramatic one were dumb together. That was their vibe. They were well, big of heart, dumb of ass,
And when the dramatics were happening, she eventually had to take that kid aside and be like, "You're making me uncomfortable. Figure it out." Like,
you're ruining the vibe of what we've got going on here. Okay, get it together. I just love the show so much.
And then there's so you also get like essentially the arcs of the characters kind of aside from the relationship stuff is the extrovert, like, he's in his little band and it seems like the lead singer like kind of hates his guts. And so there's kind of an arc with they kind of get to be cordial with each other. I'm not sure they're friends at the end, I guess, but like they're cordial. So of course, just you can guess that the introvert's best friend and the lead singer, they end up dating. There's kind of a double date that happens, of course. And what's funny about this double date, the couples get separated to where the introvert ends up hanging out with the lead singer guy, and that doesn't go very well. Like, hey, this is why your boyfriend sucks. And the introvert's like, pardon you.
Like, dude, you suck. It was good times. It was a cool grandpa. Like,
but at the moment, the introvert's best friend was like, seriously goes up to the extrovert and is like, just out of the blue, just accosts him and is in public, at a concert, in public. I hope you're using protection. Like, really loud. Like, really loudly asks him that question. Like, are you? No, like, I'm dead serious. Are you? Extrovert's like, shh, like, can we talk about this literally anywhere else? And the introvert's like, no, you're always with him. We have to talk about this right now, loudly. This is what we're doing.
The vibes of this show, it captures my whole just everything. And I
how many times have you watched it, Natalia?
Like 5 times. The show. Like, and the worst part is, it's like I can't really pinpoint why the vibes of this show are so excellent. But like,
well, the couple is just really sweet and it's very simple. Like, as far as their relationship's very simple. No stakes when it comes. Once they're together, they have one fight. Like, it's very easy. You don't have to worry about a lot of stuff.
Communicate and talk out their problems. Yes, like a responsible couple. My goodness.
I think what I really enjoyed about, because of how long it took them to even officially decide to date, like later on, like the whole very long getting to know you process. I think the reason why the vibes are great is the extrovert character who's the one that, asked to date and all these things, never pushes. There's never even a thought in his mind to ever rush anything. Ever. Even just meeting in person. He's never gonna rush that. And that's what makes it feel like, ooh, that feels unrealistic. But in a pleasant way. Like, it was very... That's why the vibe is so good. Because, the extrovert is just taking his time. Most of the time that would not be the case. But it was just really sweet. That's why I was impressed by that. Because it really was a handful of episodes. Of just taking their time to even...
Nice.
Meet in person.
I just think they're neat.
The music's fun.
I just needed someone else. That's why I chose it. I just needed someone else to watch.
She always has the one where she's like, you just gotta watch it because
somebody has
the energy of it. It's like, I can't really pinpoint, I'm not like, okay, it doesn't have an incredible production value, it doesn't have an incredible script or anything, but it's got this energy to it that you're just like, yeah,
nice.
Okay, yes, oh yes, there's a golden retriever, that's right, yes, oh my goodness, yes, of course he's wearing a dinosaur onesie, yes, of course they're gonna be having this argument before they meet through graffiti on a table, yes. Of course, it's gonna be a cool grandpa with a ponytail. Yes, yes.
And of course,
element.
Does Grandpa get a health scare? Yes, but is he, of course, just totally fine? Of course,
the stakes are low.
Stakes are low.
The stakes
anytime
are low.
Anytime you think, oh, this is going to be even the quote unquote villain, you think it's going to really ramp up for a second. Nope, it just goes right back down. It's
actually no, we just want to get you some cute content, don't worry about it. Life is stressful, this show doesn't have to be. That's the the energy of this show, is that even though life is stressful, these guys ain't. No, they're just gonna be cute. There's gonna be a lot of turtle content.
So one thing about the turtle, I kept thinking, the turtle needs a bigger tank, but that's
I did too. Listen, I'm watching another.
He's crawling around a lot on that wall.
I'm watching another Thai show where there's a goldfish, and I'm like, that goldfish needs a bigger tank. But listen, these are fictional situations. We're not gonna hold them to act. I'm sure that this actor turtle does have a much bigger home when he's not on set. Okay, but it's all good, man. No, I just think Monster. I just think it's nice, and I'm glad you also thought it was nice.
And the couple is going to be in another show soon. Yeah, and so Natalia,
Isekai.
Nice.
They're doing this for me. They're doing this.
They're like, thanks for watching us 5 times. Here
yeah, listen. there's this random woman in Canada who will not stop watching us. And so because of that, we're going to take her favorite genre and make it gay and give it to her. And I'm like, oh, gay. With contract marriage isekai, chef's kiss, say less. Okay? Yes. Done. But yeah. That one.
Like, I really did enjoy it. I think it's a good... I've probably only watched a handful of Thai BLs, and so I do think it's a good, if you need a super simple one, as entry level.
Chill.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Easy.
you having a stressful week, you've never seen a Thai BL, and you want to make sure you don't watch one of those that'll get you on a list. This is the perfect one. You know what I mean? Like, listen.
There's never anything that makes you go, eat. Like, there's not...
Yeah. Nice.
Like, any time it's about to veer into E, like, someone just has a stern talking to, and they change direction. Sometimes the stern talking to is from an angel, a literal angel and devil talking to them.
Both characters have angel devil versions of themselves talking to them periodically.
Which
it's
is just like one with white wings and one with black wings and dark lipstick. That's the two. It's just little dudes talking about. It's a good vibe. Okay, it's. I just love it, and I'm glad that Sky enjoyed it. She doesn't have to love it as much as I do because I get really hyper fixated on things. But
it was really sweet.
But I'm glad that she did enjoy it and that it was nice. And I'm glad that everyone seems to have enjoyed what I picked for them for the second year in a row.
Yeah.
Thank you. Your birthday gifts to us were lovely.
Yes, they were. I loved it.
The birthday gift to myself was not having to think about it.
Yeah, you didn't have to watch anything for this.
You know, it is what it is.
You gave us the pics months ago for the most part.
I'm ready to go. I'm just gonna. It's too hot here for me to think about things. It's too hot. I feel like one of those those hedonism bot from Futurama, where I'm like, I'll just languish here in the heat. But anyway, that was BL Santa, my birthday present to myself. And so I hope you enjoyed hanging out with us, talking about BL. Again, there was some overlap with some of these from our previous episode, but that's just to be expected.
Oh, and Monster Next Door, I think Gaga Ooh La La.
It is on Gaga Ooh La La. I believe it is on WeTV as well. Those are the two places you can find it. Spare Me Mercy is on iQIYI, and Our Dating Sim is on Viki. So you gotta go through.
Accessible.
I set them all to different vibes, different lengths, different streaming services.
Yeah, looking for variety.
I like to bring a little bit of variety for these episodes. Anyway, next week it'll be our usual What We're Watching episode coming up. So that'll be next Monday. So we hope you come hang out with us. We hope you had a great time. You can listen to us, wherever podcasts can be found. That's where they can be found. And also, if you like video, we're on YouTube in video. You can look at our faces while we do this. And if you are on YouTube, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. I love replying to YouTube comments. It gives me something fun to do during the week. And if you want to support this podcast, like the incredible people who do, you can go to patreon.com/certified Noonas. Join the Certified Found family. It's our family on the web. They are great, and we parasocially love them back. So it's a two-way street, baby. They get little mini episodes every once in a while. We get a movie night at the end of most months. And also, I forgot to say it, even because it's so hot that my brain isn't working today. You can also listen to our episodes and see the time codes and links to everything that we talked about on certifiednoonas.com, our website. Anyway, we hope you're having a great week. Drink lots of water if it do be hot where you are. And then wash your hands and wear a mask. And as always, keep enjoying some Asian boys love entertainment. All right, happy Pride, y'all. Bye.
Bye.